Welcome back to the deep dive. We're diving into cybersecurity this time, something I know you've been wanting to explore. And let me tell you, it's a wild ride. Every day, systems under attack, tech giants scrambling to patch holes, even AI is becoming a player, for both good and bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not just about those Hollywood hackers and dark rooms anymore. It's about the vulnerabilities baked into, well, everything digital. The software we use, the mistakes we make, and the more interconnected our world gets, the juicier a target these weaknesses become.
You know, one story that really got me was the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank getting hit with ransomware. A food bank. These guys, they hit them hard, encrypting data and saying they stole social security numbers, passports. Talking about 250,000 people affected. It's awful. You know, those who are already struggling often get hit the hardest.
And the thing is, this wasn't random. Cyber criminals are getting more strategic. They target places like food banks, nonprofits, schools, places that might not have the biggest cybersecurity budgets.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to break into a house, you go for the one with the flimsiest lock.
Right, makes sense. And it's not always about data theft either. Remember the Wayback Machine going down? That DDoS attack, it's like a digital traffic jam, clogging up the information superhighway so no one can get through. They used a botnet, basically a bunch of hijacked devices, to flood the Wayback Machine servers. And get this, they weaponized everyday stuff, home entertainment systems, using this malware called Mirai.
And that's the thing about the Internet of Things, IoT. Everything's connected. Your fridge, your fitness tracker, they're all potential entry points, if not secured. And this attack, devices traced back to Korea, China, Brazil, shows how global this threat is. It's not just your computer anymore, it's anything that touches the internet and how those connections can be exploited.
So not just food banks and internet archives, even the big tech guys aren't safe. Oracle had to release a massive security update, over 200 vulnerabilities, and a lot of them could be exploited remotely, meaning hackers don't even need to be nearby to cause chaos.
And that's huge. When a company like Oracle issues a patch, it's a warning siren. Those vulnerabilities, publicly listed, often with a CVE number, basically a catalog of weaknesses. Hackers look for systems that haven't been updated. Easy pickings.
Like leaving your digital front door wide open.
Exactly. And speaking of vulnerabilities, there was a bad one in GitHub. CVE 2024-9487, it let attackers bypass authentication on their enterprise server, access to sensitive projects, code, all that, without needing any credentials. It got a CVSS score of 9.5. Hacker's dream come true. Even platforms designed for secure collaboration aren't foolproof. And this is where zero-day and end-day exploits come in. Zero-day, the vendor doesn't even know about it yet. By the time they do, hackers are already in. And the time it takes to exploit these, shrinking rapidly, sometimes just days. Mandiant, a cybersecurity firm, they're seeing way more of these attacks. Staying vigilant is critical.
So we've got hackers finding new ways in, faster than ever, like a digital arms race.
And speaking of arms races, there's a new player on the field, AI. Powerful tool, good OR evil, you know.
Yeah, it's like giving both sides superpowered brains, right? The speed, the complexity ramps everything up.
Absolutely. And BugCrowd, they're the ones who do all that bug bounty hunting. Their report said 77%, almost 8 out of 10 ethical hackers are using generative AI now. Imagine what the bad guys are doing with that same power.
Makes you think, that's for sure. And it's not just lone wolves anymore either. Microsoft's report almost 400 healthcare places in the U.S. hit by ransomware just last year. And get this, they're seeing nation states teaming up with these cybercrime gangs.
Yeah, Russia, North Korea, Iran, they're sharing resources, knowledge, tools. Makes them a whole different beast, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just about stealing data. It's about disrupting, holding things hostage, even messing with global politics. Scary stuff.
So how do we even stand a chance? It's like they're always one step ahead.
Part of it is realizing cybersecurity is not a one-and-done thing. It's constant. Got to keep at it. And identity security. It's huge UGE.
More than just strong passwords.
Way more.
Yeah.
Strong, unique passwords. Those are the baseline. But think layers. Multi-factor authentication, where you need your phone or email to confirm it's you. That's big. And being careful what you share online, watching for those sketchy emails, links, all that matters.
Being proactive, not just reacting after the fact, but hard to do that when you don't even know what you're dealing with half the time.
True. And that's where AI can actually help us out. AI security systems, they can analyze all that network traffic, spot weird stuff happening, even automatically respond to some threats, like having a super alert guard watching your digital back 24/7.
So AI, the problem, A&D, the solution, it's almost like we're trying to make sure the good guys are better at using it than the bad guys.
Exactly. And yeah, it can feel overwhelming sometimes. But remember, knowledge is power, right? The more you understand, the better you can protect yourself.
We've covered a lot, that's for sure. Vulnerabilities, exploits, AI, nation states. A lot to process.
It is, but the big takeaway, cybersecurity, it's everyone's problem now.
Not just tech companies or governments, right?
Mm,
It's about all of us taking steps to be safe in this crazy digital world. It's kind of scary how fast things change, right? Like ransomware wasn't even on most people's radar a while back, and now it's everywhere you look.
yeah, the bad guys don't exactly stand still. It's a moving target, that's for sure. But that's why we're talking about it. Knowledge is power, cliche but true.
So where do we even begin? They're moving so fast. How can we keep up?
Being aware, that's the first step. And you're doing that right now, digging into this stuff. The more you understand the tactics, the weak points, the better you can spot trouble before it hits you through.
Like knowing the rules of the road before you get behind the wheel, right? Got to be aware to stay safe.
Exactly. And just like driving, being proactive is huge. Don't wait till something breaks to fix it. Updates, strong passwords, that multi-factor authentication, all of that stuff. Make it a habit.
All good advice, for sure. But this feels bigger than just us protecting ourselves, you know? Like we need to be building a safer digital world overall.
100%. We got to demand better from these companies, from our governments. Stronger rules, holding them accountable when they mess up.
Yeah.
That's how we push for real change.
And what about AI? We talked about both sides using it. How do we make sure the good guys win that race?
$1 million question, right? AI is only going to get more powerful. So security's got to be built in from the ground up, not tacked on later. Got to anticipate the problems before they happen.
Like we're building the plane while we're flying it, huh?
Pretty much. But that's cybersecurity in a nutshell. Always changing. Got to adapt to get left behind.
So as we wrap up, what's the one thing you want our listener to take away from all this? The most important thing in this crazy digital world?
Be informed. Be proactive. And for the love of all that is good, use a strong password. And remember, you're not alone. Lots of folks out there fighting the good fight, making the internet a safer place.
Well said. Thanks for guiding us through all this. It's been enlightening, to say the least.
Happy to do it. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know, the safer you are online.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and we'll catch you next time.